ready? All right, so when I walked in, were you guys looking at this already and walking through it? Perfect. So you already know what it's about?
No. We were just looking at the pictures.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, I'm going to start at the top. It says, in the mid-1800s, when most girls are not allowed to have paid jobs, Charlotte Parkhurst disguises herself as a boy in order to work with horses. She goes by the name Charlie and keeps her true identity a secret. Years later, Charlie moves from Rhode Island to an area near Sacramento, California. There, she and her friends, James and Frank, drive horse-drawn stagecoaches for a living. Suddenly, a bad accident leaves Charlie partially blind. Now with only one good eye left, Charlie must relearn how to drive a coach. The next day, she overturned the coach completely. She overturned the coach completely, but was able to jump free. What was she doing wrong? She knew how to drive a team. She didn't need training with the horses or the ribbons. She knew those things by heart. It was her eye she didn't know. She needed to train her one good eye. She needed to learn how to use it all over again. She started taking a smaller team out every day. First, a 2-horse drawn team, then a 4. Finally, with 6 in the hand, Charlotte had been proving herself her whole life, and she wasn't able to stop now. She didn't even care if Frank and James caught on to what she was doing. They might as well see me trying, she thought. All right, so one of the questions I had for you guys about that is, what do you think the author means by Charlotte had been proving herself her whole life?
Oh.
So we read that part. What do you think it meant what that the author was saying? Emerson?
That she actually gets to work and stuff. Like she actually.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else have an idea of what it means by Charlotte had been proving herself her whole life? Haley?
She's been like, since when people prove like something, she's like proving to herself.
And what about you?
She's like proving she can like look with one eye.
Mm-hmm. She learned the different sounds the horse's hooves made on different types of roads. If the road was hard, the hooves made a hollow, clopping sound. If the road was soft, the hooves made a dull, thudding sound. She relied on her one good eye to take over for the other. She trusted her senses and the sixth sense she had for handling horses. Charlotte drove back and forth over her route and memorized every rock and tree. She set a goal for herself. If she made 10 clear, round-trip runs, she'd know she was good as an ex-driver. After that, she'd have Frank and James just to convince. Another question I had about that is, what evidence have you seen so far that Charlotte has great determination? Is there any evidence in the book that shows she's determined? Haley?
She keeps trying and trying.
Yep, that's kind of what determined means. Does anybody else see anything? Yes.
She's trying to convince other people.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now, after the 10th clean run, Charlotte went to James. I went to drive the stage run over the river. Now, Charlie, we've been over all that. Me and Frank think you ride with me, and if you don't think I'm fit, then I won't bother you again, said Charlotte. What will the passengers say about your eye patch? Said James. Just tell them it's to frighten off the bandits. They won't know any different. I don't know. Charlotte defended herself. You know my reputation. I traveled all this way. Riding coaches is the whole reason I came to California. And because you asked me to come. You know I've been practicing. Go bypass my driving. That's all I'm asking, and I wouldn't be asking if I didn't know I could drive. Reluctantly, James said, the first sign that you can't handle the situation, I take the reins. I'll tell you if I need help. Don't go stepping in unless I ask. Fair enough, said James. Tomorrow? Tomorrow, if the weather holds. I ain't going to be a fair weather driver, said Charlotte. I want to drive, same as usual, like all the other drivers. Well, I guess you deserve that much. Tomorrow, rain or shine. It was one of those storms where the rain came down in washtubs, but the stage was scheduled to go. The coach was chock full of passengers, baggage, and mail pouches that had to get through. Charlotte was soaked clear through by the time the baggage was secured. James rode shotgun next to her. The wind wouldn't let up, and the rain came flying in every which direction. James seemed nervous. "Charlie, I can't even see the road," he yelled. "Then it's a good thing I'm driving, 'cause I can smell it and I can hear it," yelled Charlotte. James sat back as the coach headed into the storm. The mud was so thick it reached the hubs, but Charlotte still found the road. When they reached the river, it had swelled almost to the bridge supports. Charlotte stopped the stage on the north bank. "Stay inside," she told the passengers. "I'll be checking the bridge." Charlotte took off her gloves and carefully walked across the swaying timbers to see if the bridge was worthy. She stomped a few times and listened to the moans of the wood. She felt the swollen planks and pulled on the guard ropes until she was satisfied. "Ain't no reason to risk your lives," said Charlotte. "James, I'm going to walk you and these fine people over to the other side to wait for me there." But a portly gentleman refused to budge. "I'll take my chances inside the coach," he said. "Not on my coach," said Charlotte. "I'm familiar with the adventure, young man," he argued. "The bridge can't take any extra weight, and I'm not about to lose my first passenger to that river. Now step out, or I'll help you step out." Still grumbling, the man reluctantly climbed down. In the blinding rain, Charlotte escorted the group, a few at a time, across the bridge. When they were safely settled on the other side, she walked back for the stage. She got back in the box. Thunder growled nearby. She knew what was coming next. She held tight to the ribbons and waited for the lightning. It hit within a mile, but she kept the horses reined. Trusting her instincts, she inched the horses and the stage across the bridge. The timbers groaned as the iron-capped wheels clacked around the wooden planks. Ahead, the passengers huddled together and watched anxiously from the other side. The river raced a few feet beneath the wheels. The bridge rocked over the horses and reared and whinnied. The coach was smack in the middle of the bridge. Charlotte kept her sights on the far bank. She heard the splintering and cracking of weathered wood that meant the bridge was coming apart. Okay, so in that paragraph it said something about an instinct. Have you guys learned what that word was? Instinct? What does that mean? Haley? What do you think it means?
It's like what you're feeling, like something's gonna happen. It's like you sense it. It's like
The way I see it is like it's not something you think about, you just do it right away, kind of. Emerson?
Like, I play baseball and I have a really fast pitcher that I have to catch because everybody else is scared to catch him. And one time he threw it like crazy hard and I didn't even know it was coming. Like, I thought it was coming down in the dirt and I just like reached up and it caught it.
That's a good example. You know exactly what to do.
it's like
And it says she stood up in the box. "Keep them straight on the bridge, Charlotte." Dashing the water from her good eye and gathering the reins in a firm grip, she cracked her whip and yelled, "Away!" She was thrown back into the box. The horses jiggled side to side, but she held tight to the ribbons. They flew across like scared jackrabbits. The back wheels barely turned on solid ground when the bridge collapsed and dropped into the churning river. "Whoa, my beauties, whoa!" yelled Charlotte. The passengers hurried back to the stage, clamoring about the excitement, while Charlotte settled the team. "We could have all fallen in," one woman gasped. "My heart's a-pounding," a man exclaimed as the others joined him. "We would have drowned." "He saved my life," said the gentleman who had almost refused to lead the coach. And by the way they were talking, and James was nodding his head, Charlotte knew there wouldn't be a question about her driving a stage again.
wait, is there a chapter book like
Is there a chapter book like that? I'm not sure. Then question it lists here for you. It says, what do you think Charlotte is feeling at the end of the story? Yes.
Scared and happy.
Mm-hmm. What do you think she's feeling?
Anxious.
Yeah. What do you think? Proud.
Excited that everybody got to know.
Mm-hmm.
She got them to know that she could.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Brave because she did that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I thought brave too.
I kind of thought brave too. Okay. Then, do you remember yesterday when we looked at that picture of the stagecoach? What did you guys notice about the picture?
It was in black and white. It was in the old.
What was on it that you guys noticed? Did it look like a car you would see today at all?
No.
No?
It's like that.
Yeah. What was the same about it though?
Oh.
Is there anything the same about the stagecoach from Cars? Yeah. What do you think
like
it's?
a taxi driver.
What do you think is different about the stagecoach compared to the car?
It's red.
Could be. You can see red cars.
Oh, and it's like it's one wheel bigger than the other,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to use horses instead of like gas.
Do you think from the cars you see today, most of them you turn on with a key or something, right? Do you think you would turn this on with a key though?
No, horses. You turn horses.
Yeah.
In back here.
Do all of you have one of these?
No.
No. Back here.
We have to share with a partner because
If you can share with a partner. I'm just going to introduce this a little bit and point out some of the vocabulary words in there that you've been learning. Let's see, so do you want to come over and share with her? Maybe? See how many we have. And then you two can share.
You guys will have to probably buddy up in threes.
Yeah. If you three can share. You three back here. How is it?
Mm-hmm.
About you three, and then you three back there can share one. Yeah, some of you might have to scoot up a little bit and join these groups.
You guys can do it the way that you do a Quizlet
Oh,
when you're together and you're all viewing. So you can have a row of 3 or 4 that can all view it together. You can make it work.
can you pass it back to them so they can look at it too?
Elizabeth, are you back there with Maddie?
Yeah.
How about if you two come out this way? Because you could share with a group like maybe over here.
And then maybe you two can come up to this group right here and share.
Gerald, you'll have to make sure that the people on both sides of you can see.
And you two scoot up so you can share with her maybe. So before, do you guys read these usually?
Yeah.
Okay, before you read them, you don't have to read them right now. You can read them here in a little bit. Some of the vocabulary words though. Don't start reading them quite yet, Gerald. Not quite yet, okay? I just wanted to point out a few things. Everybody turn to page 10 on there. I noticed some of you yesterday were struggling with this vocabulary word here, escorted. Do you remember what it means to escort or to be escorted?
Evacuate. To guide.
What does it mean?
To guide people
Yeah.
around.
Kind of, yeah. So I know that it's kind of a tough word to say. So I thought I'd just point it out quick so everybody knew how to say it. And there was another one I saw. Reputation on page 8. What is your reputation, Ashton?
What people think of you.
Mhm. Kind of what people think of you. And I guess there's a couple different meanings for it, so I wanted to show you guys that, just so you, like, when you go through them by yourself, that you can point it out. looking through the book, is there anything else you guys have questions about? Any of the vocabulary? Looking through that book. The vocabulary reader. Nobody has any questions for now?
I don't know what's this. I don't know what's this.
That's the stagecoach.